The network is a collection of aircraft technical professionals with an IT platform that makes it easy for them to communicate and to grow their expertise and their knowledge of their own business.
So at a very physical level, there's an app on somebody's phone and they're part of a database?
Exactly. So there's an app and there's software, IT platform on your computer, on your laptop. You have access to that to upload your skills and expertise, as well as your availability on a calendar tool. And the reason for that calendar tool is that our enterprise members can search the database to see who's available for what particular skill on a particular date. So if I'm looking for a borescope guy in Singapore in 2 months' time, you will get a short list of guys in the region that have that skill when you need it. And another very important thing, part of our organisation, we have introduced a concept called chapter leaders since the start of 2021. So the idea here is that in every country worldwide, there will be a focal point for APTN.aero members. This focal point is the chapter leader for the country. They will know who the good guys are in aircraft technical. They could pull a team together for you, for example, if you wanted to inspect aircraft or do audits on aircraft, look at technical records, pull together technical records. The chapter leader, we now have grown to over 20 chapter leaders worldwide, from as far apart as Chile to Australia. We meet weekly, we discuss technical issues, we discuss opportunities in the regions. If lessors are looking for particular people in different areas. So I think the chapter leaders part of the APTN organisation will continue to grow and will be an important part. For example, if you're looking for some assistance in Australia, it's very simple. Australia at APTN.aero gets you straight into the chapter leader for that country. Here is your expert in the country in terms of aircraft technical issues. Could be CAMO, could be Part 21, could be MRO. It's very simple. You don't need a name.
So what I understand from what you're saying to me is that there's a whole lot of expertise out there, but it's fluid, it moves.
Exactly. And a lot of guys will be working, I won't say full-time, but they'll have decent enough contracts with leasing companies. And some of these guys actually are kept on retainer, and they don't even work for a lot of the period because the lessor is afraid to lose them. So you can imagine if I'm a lessor of 10 guys on retainer, I could say, okay, Alan or John, use the APTN app and work in regions where we don't need you. So that means that maybe I don't have to pay you so much on a retainer basis, but you get work and are active when we don't need you on site.
Is this a business idea that came from something you needed yourself, or what was the inspiration for it?
The inspiration was seeing that so many, let's say, technical consultants out there that didn't have the ability to find work. They were knocking on people's doors and they found that they weren't getting the best exposure for the expertise that they had. Mm-hmm. And it's just trying to optimize that and make it more efficient, to bring people together to, and I think it's also part of the environmental kind of support for the industry. Not flying a guy from Europe to Asia just to do a 2-day inspection and the amount of carbon that uses. That was also part of the thinking in setting it up, was to help in that regard.
The quality of any network, though, is dependent on its best and its weakest member. How do you validate who's on your network?
Sure, yeah. Now we get asked that question a lot, and okay, we do validate in terms of, when people sign up, there's an approval process looking at their previous expertise and how many years they've worked in the industry. So that's the initial one. Then we would have a small board of people with expertise that would look at those. But the idea is that people will continue to use the platform and register for continuous professional development. And these are the guys that that will have expertise and the interest of the industry at heart. The enterprise members will be able to see what activity there has been by members on the platform as well. So there will be a recommendation facility on it in the near future where people can recommend A over B and based on the experience they have. So we are developing tools like that.
Well, if somebody's listening to you and I having this conversation, they're on your website, they may be making the decision to join that network. What's your pitch?
Well, the pitch is that you're going to get more exposure to aircraft leasing companies, to the chief technical officers in aircraft leasing companies, the VP technicals that make these decisions. They'll have a tool where they can shortlist the expertise in the regions that they need it. So straight away, you're in front of them when they're looking for people. On top of that, We will provide you with access to training courses, and it's not focused on one particular school. It will be focused on topics of interest and more to do with remote learning as well. We'll also provide you with tools that will help you in your own, if you are a small business, professional indemnity insurance in a professional body like ours, you'll get better rates. Other financial products, maybe some medical pension type of products in the future for an organisation like this, where we have some leverage in terms of numbers. So that's what I hope will convince people to join. But really, it's all about networking, getting your name and expertise out there, and hopefully getting more business as a result.
But all of that has a value or a cost to it.
Yeah, the cost over COVID, the individual aircraft technical professional membership, we've waived it because people are in difficult circumstances, and that continues until the end of this summer. We'll review it again after that. The enterprise membership, I think, is good value for money because you get access to the database and the contacts. So, the value for money proposition is there for both enterprise and for individuals at the moment. What's it pitched at? I think it's pretty reasonable. It's €300 per year. It's a lot less than your golf or your gym membership. And for that, like I said, you get the ability to make yourself known to the industry, and you can avail of those services that I mentioned already.
And are there any additional costs for the member, for example, should they get one job or another?
No, I mean, the whole concept is that you contact directly with the person inquiring, whether it's a leasing company or an MRO, you contract directly with them yourselves. I'm not in the middle. I'm not trying to add cost or a margin to it. It's purely networking, putting people together.